You can buy, what, say 3 of these for the price of a Mega Blast, and I would take one of these shoes over a Mega Blast any day of the week. So a couple runs done and dusted in this shoe. Now this is the Li-Ning Feidian Challenger 5, and these are my first impressions. But before we get into it, if you guys want to support my channel and you enjoy what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So this is actually my first ever Li-Ning running shoe. So this is the first of 3, so I've got the rest of the Feidian series. I've got the Elite and the Ultra to also test as well, and I think I've got the Red Hair Pro coming. But starting with this one, so neutral road running shoe, certainly in that lightweight up-tempo training category, probably in the super trainer category as well for sure, with its versatility, super foam plate, etc. But this one, neutral road running shoe, price-wise, I got this one delivered in Australia for $150. It'll probably work out to about $100 in the US. I did just check Aliexpress here in Australia, and it's going for $130, so amazing. With the weight, crazy lightweight package, so this is coming in lighter than a lot of the top tier race shoes again. So 192 grams, 6.8 ounces. This is a US 8.5. And in the stack, we got 36 in the rear, 28 in the front, and that's going to give us a 8mm drop. And in the upper, so the material that they're using here is what they call a boom fiber. Now this boom fiber is pretty much just a single layer mesh. It is incredibly breathable. You can see straight through it. You can feel the air just rushing through and cooling the foot down. Absolutely love it. Heel counter, it's got a bit of structure there, so it's got a solid centerpiece, but you can also push the sides in as well. You can fold it over, but I'm going to say it's more on the structured side. A little Achilles flare, minimal amount of padding around the heel collar. It's not a plush type padding, it's probably on the firmer side. With our tongue, super thin, but it has got one center pad just to take that laces pressure off. The tongue is also gusseted, but my tongue has soaked up a lot of sweat because it's really wet in my hand at the moment. With our lacing system, just reinforced eyelets down either side. It has got a spot for the runner's knot, but I feel like that top eyelet's just in the wrong spot. I haven't had to use it. Laces are not too bad though. I really like how they feel. They've got this like unique consistency to them. They feel quite premium, but they tie up well. They don't sort of slip through and change as the run goes on. Haven't come undone at all. With the fit, I'm going to say true to size in the length in comparison to the US size. So I'm usually a US 8.5. I ordered a US 8.5 in this, and it is spot on. But I'll say overall, the fit is like a performance fit. So what you'd expect probably out of a race shoe. It's not on the narrow side, but it's certainly not a wide shoe. Toe box volume, I think, is just right, just what you expect out of performance fit. Now what I'm starting to do for these Chinese shoes, because the sizes are a little bit all over the shop, I'm looking at the foot length in centimeters, and I think from that, once I check my foot length, so I'm about 26 centimeters or 260 millimeters, I check that, and then whatever that corresponds to on their size chart, I've been using that, and that's been quite accurate, so happy. So step-in comfort here, quite nice. Build quality, surprisingly good, especially for the price. And in our outsole, so they've got full rubber coverage of what they call their GCR, so ground control rubber. And as I just said, one big segment there, it splits off at the end here. So a lot of the Chinese sort of workout shoes in this category all have the same type of compound or the same type of coverage on the bottom. I usually like it a little bit more segmented off so it doesn't constrict the midsole, but they're not using it, and I think it's doing its job here, obviously adding to the durability. The tread pattern, it's quite thick, I'm going to say, but the actual compound itself, it's not the hardest, so it does conform with the midsole, especially through the back here, so I'm not finding it overly slappy or loud. Now in the grip, I'm going to say it had a tiny bit of slip in the wet because I've had a run in this in some wet conditions. Not normally on your tarmac road or your concrete, but when you've got those exposed pebbles, I did have some slippage in this shoe. So not perfect, but also not too bad. Durability wise, it's way too early for me to tell. No wear on this one so far yet. Some other little features on the bottom of this shoe. So pretty much a huge cavity through the middle there where you can see that exposed carbon plate. And I really like how it fangs off when you've got this little wing through the middle here as well. And in the midsole, so a little bit hard to find some information of exactly what's going on here, but I have done some research. And what research tells me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong out there, but we've got a dual density setup here. We've got a top layer of supercritical PEBA foam, which is what they call super boom, and the bottom layer, which is a beaded style foam. So I have heard some places that it is a PEBA beaded foam, but I've also read somewhere else it could be a TPU beaded foam, supercritical, that they might have used in the Challenger 3. If anyone thinks they know, let me know in the comments. But between those layers of foam, they've got a ribbed carbon plate that's actually got some flex. So it's still quite stiff, but certainly in comparison to like a race day carbon plate, it's probably got a little bit more flex than that. And with the ribbed carbon plate, I have seen that before, so you'll see that probably on the New Balance models when they've got those little ripples through it, just to add a little bit of stiffness to the shoe. Now in our geometry department, I'm going to say we've got a little aggressive rocker here on the front. So when you're in the shoe, you don't feel like you're tipping forward in the shoe, so it's probably on the later stage. But when you're running around in the shoe, there's certainly no slappiness in the ride, and you can certainly feel how easy it is to toe off in this one. And probably a little bit of curvature there at the back in that rear bevel as well. And in the ride, well, the first word that is coming to mind here is surprisingly smooth. So I didn't expect it to be this smooth, and it's not like a normal smooth ride that you would experience, say, in the Dynafish Yarn. It's not like that. It's got an energetic smoothness about it. So the smoothness is all about this really nice sweet spot in the shoe. So not right at the back, but here through the midfoot, when we're starting to put most of the force through this midfoot, where these sidewalls are. So it's more soft through this part of the shoe. Obviously these walls in this cavity, they'll collapse a little bit easier, and you can get some squish through there, but the way when you roll off onto your toe, and the way when they decompress and roll you off on the toe, that's when you get that nice little bit of energetic spring about the shoe. So it's certainly softer than I expected, and it's a lot smoother than I expected. Yeah, I was just expecting this punchy, snappy ride that was gonna, probably be more suited to the faster stuff, but I was really, really impressed with how this shoe felt jogging around. I think its sweet spot for me, though, is that steady pace, but pretty versatile as well. Like I threw a lot of paces at it over the last few runs, and it pretty much felt good from, like 5-minute 30Ks all the way up to like 3-minute 40km/h. So, about half marathon, maybe a little bit 10K pace. This shoe pretty much could handle it all. It does lack, for me, again, that top-end aggressive speed that a race day shoe will give you, but I think anything under that, man, really nice. Now, it did remind me of when I started to hit this sweet spot and I found it, the smoothness of that ride, or the smooth feedback that I was getting, it actually reminded me of the Nike Vaporfly 4, so how smooth and natural that shoe felt. This shoe reminded me of that, and I was thinking maybe this could be the perfect training shoe for the Vaporfly 4. So that's just the experience I felt, but only through when we're starting to hit the sweet spot of the shoe. So just through here, but yeah, really nice. I can see why this one was recommended to me, and I can see why it is a bit of a fan favorite out there. So super impressed. And also stability-wise, although it's got quite a narrow base here, I didn't experience any instability in the shoe at all, quite comfortable. It's also obviously very light, very nimble, so very confident to jump up and down gutters, uneven surfaces. It didn't bother me whatsoever. So there's lots to like in this shoe. So the weight, the price, the fit of the upper, how breathable the upper is, the comfort of the upper, and that buttery, smooth, energetic ride. And just wrapping up my first impressions here, so this one did come highly recommended, highly rated. I can see why this is very, very impressive. So predictions moving forward with this shoe, it's going to be one of those versatile up-tempo training shoes / super trainer. It'll handle, I think, anything that you throw at it. So far, it's felt amazing at jogging, as I said, all the way up to 3-minute 40/km. I said it just lacks that top-end speed. But yeah, you probably could race in this shoe if you're probably, 3 hours plus for your marathon, certainly a half marathon shoe as well. But for the price, like I can't fathom the price point of these shoes and the performance level of them. So this shoe for me, just along with the BMI that I've also tested, the Kiprun KD900 X2, so these shoes with their plates and their super foam, under $150, they are blowing the Western brands away. So there is nothing close in that workout space or that versatile running shoe space that is coming to close to those 3 shoes that I've just mentioned. So again, I'll mention the Saucony Endorphin Speed, like the 5. It is like, it's levels below that. This thing is way more exciting. It feels better at all the paces. So the Magic Speed as well, this thing absolutely blows it away, as those other shoes do. So I think this little niche of shoes, so these like super trainers, lightweight super trainers, or these lightweight versatile up-tempo trainers from the Chinese market with their cut plates and their super foams, man, they are amazing. They are owning, they are owning that category. So these shoes are pretty much a must, I think, in anyone's rotation. You can buy, say 3 of these for the price of a Mega Blast, and I would take one of these shoes over a Mega Blast any day of the week. So yeah, saying that, you can go long in this shoe as well, I've got no doubt, because this foam, it's meaty, like it's got some guts about it. It doesn't feel like you're going to bottom it out, even though it is a little softer back to the rear. But for a guy like my weight, yeah, I wouldn't hesitate using this one along as well, and I will be taking this one along for sure. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Challenger 5, super impressive. I love this one, love it. So another one that's gonna really scorch my leaderboard, I can tell already. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Any questions you've got regarding this shoe, how it relates to anything else, hit me up in the comments. If you haven't got it yet, I'm confident you could just get on your Aliexpress or your Taobao, get yourself a pair of these, because these are amazing. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.